Good day, everybody. This is Lone Eagle 112358. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it so very, very, very much. I really do. So this is for the Beatles fans and the John Lennon fans and the Yoko Ono fans and the May Pang fans. Who's May Pang? That's what I said. I was like, who is May Pang? Who is this lady? Let's look at some pictures. Well, that's John Lennon and that's May Pang. I saw this, I was like, oh, it's Yoko Ono. Then I looked at I was like, oh, that's not Yoko. I'm like, who is this lady? Because she's everywhere with John now. But that's not Yoko. The only Asian lady I've ever seen John Lennon with was Yoko Ono. Who's this lady? Who is May Pang? Well, this is new for me. This is definitely new for me. And this is a weird one. This is a weird one. Okay, I'm looking at the time. Okay, watch. Guys, from my timeline, okay, just look where this photo's taken. They're in public. And we're going to get into this. Okay? But I'm just still on my timeline. John Lennon was only dating Yoko Ono. Okay? From what I've heard from learning about this man through documentaries and everything I've seen on YouTube and wherever I've seen these documentaries from, there was that famous the in bed scene where him and Yoko Ono were in Montreal. They did that thing. Okay, I thought they were in love. Okay, I thought Yoko was there until the end, but she wasn't. There was this lady. Oh shit. This is so weird. This is what I'm used to right here. John Lennon, Yoko Ono. But here's the story on this lady. Okay, so I went in Wikipedia. Boom. Checked on the view history, because that's what I was told to do now when I use Wiki. It's very important, because you'll notice a trend that you'll see weird numbers on this, and I'm seeing weird numbers. So someone, if you're used to being on Wiki on these types of pages, can you let me know what I'm seeing? But the very first entry says 2008. I could be reading this wrong, but shouldn't the first entry be a lot sooner than 2008, or is that when Wiki started? I don't know. Let me know what you think on that. But yeah, that's a weird one. So this lady was brought in, not brought in, she was working for Yoko Ono and John Lennon, okay, as the PA, a personal assistant. She made sure that they got all their clothes, that they made it to places on time, that the places they were living in were up to date. At the time that she was doing this, she was 22. And at this very same time, I had no idea that John Lennon and Yoko Ono were fighting each other all the time. Lennon and Ono, I guess fighting? I don't know what to put down. Not getting along? Here, yeah, let me use that word. I don't like using fighting. Getting along. I don't like that word, fighting. See, there's a big thing on it. There's a feud. But this is what I remember. Like, hey, look, remember, it said it right there as I said that. Funny. This is what I remember. The love. That's so funny. I was about to frickin' say that. Wow. I was like, this is what I remember. The love. I was going to say the love. That's funny. Wow. I'm glad I caught that. But this is what I remember. Okay. I thought they were in love the whole time because there was just photos and photos of them. He was totally digging her, and she was totally digging him. And they went to L.A. and they were in New York all the time. They're traveling. They did this in bed thing, but then boom. Okay. I'm used to just seeing him with. I'm just used to this. That's all. But then, you know what's. It's just funny. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep repeating myself, but the story on John and May is that you watch this video. She's like, yeah, I was just sitting there and I'd be in their house a lot working, and she's like, you can tell they weren't getting along. And then Yoko Ono came up to me and went, yeah, so me and John aren't getting along, and I think you two would hit it off. And she's like, no, I don't want to do it. What do you mean? And she's like, yeah, you'll do it. And then she told John that, and then John was, and they both, like, she was very attractive. Look at her. You know what I mean? So he's like, okay, I'll do that. And she's like, yeah, of course, you're John Lennon. So they did it. It was like an arranged marriage. And I'm not for that because, you know, we all know about arranged marriages. But listen, that's basically, listen, that just adds to, like, because in one of these videos here I was watching, they were talking about how bad Yoko Ono was too. Like, she was really mean to John. There's a lot of stories about that, and she was John's handler. I'm like, what? If you believe in that stuff, but yeah, they were saying Yoko Ono was John's handler, and she was very mean. And when you listen to these videos, Yoko's like setting the tone. She's like, you're gonna date John. And then went to John and said, you're going to date May. And they did that. So that's kind of handling to me. Watch this video. I'll leave a link in the description. She says this in there. This is May, not too long ago. Alright? What she was able to do, here's the Mandela in this, as I feel. Because of this relationship now, which is totally new. Like, I mean, look at this. They're walking around in public everywhere. This is not... So, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place with this. Because Yoko's telling them that you're getting together, she sends them out in public. And they're seen everywhere. I'm like, what? I've never seen this lady before. Sorry that I'm all over the place, guys. It's just new to me. I want to make sure to cover this. But I'm watching this documentary. It's 50 minutes long, okay? So because this woman enters his life, she's gifted. She's so gifted that she managed to get John Lennon back in contact with his son. And they bond a relationship. Alright? John Lennon calls the last 18 months with this woman, I believe, in his life, the lost weekend. And there's a thing on it. She talks about it right here. Okay? At the time Lennon had his 18-month relationship with Pang, he was in a period of his life which he would later refer to as being his lost weekend, in reference to the film and novel of the same. And this book is about someone struggling with alcohol addiction, you know, and a lot of us who are John Lennon fans will know that he went through an album called Mind Games, and he was struggling with alcohol and heroin. But in the process, I don't know the timeline properly, but she talked to him, managed to get these two back together. So that's a Mandela because she was never there in my world. So I'm a little confused. Did these two ever have a relationship in our old world? Because she was not there. Come on, she's all over the world. She's in pictures. Yoko Ono set them up. That's the crazy thing. Look, they're not hiding it. Of all the documentaries I've seen on this man, not once did I ever hear of May Pang. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. You can come here and watch all these documentaries you want. This was a good one.
And
Oh, CNN did it, and they're basically saying the same thing I'm saying. Um, yeah, they went to LA, and the reason why she was unhappy with him because she was an artist too, and she was struggling because of her fame being associated with John Lennon. People couldn't separate that, and she was trying to do her own thing, and it pissed her off. And plus, they had their own problems, so it mounted up, and then finally she broke free to do her own thing. I guess that was part of it, or a variable. So, I mean, this is huge for me, guys. And what stood out the most was this right here. This is beautiful. When I heard this part, I was just so happy. I was so happy. Armpit sweat. They must be in LA. Man, that was awesome. I heard that. I was so happy. It warmed up my heart. Put butterflies in my tummy. You ever get that? Watch this part here, okay? You'll see. I'll leave a link in the description to these two right here. These two are the best ones. I'll close this one. This one. And so let me know what you guys think. May, Pang, and... oh yeah, that John Lennon's son is Julian. Oh wait, let's go to, because they have Julian Lennon. Ooh, my typing is off tonight. See, like, now that she's in the life, man, there's Whoopi. Man, they have a relationship. Man, could you imagine that? Can you imagine how his... so let's... I don't know about his relationship with John in my timeline where I'm from, because I just know about his existence through another woman. It wasn't through Yoko Ono. It was through his first wife in Britain. But I don't know if they formed a relationship before he died, before John Lennon died, you know? And if they didn't, could you imagine what would happen in this world if they did? Like, I mean, look, they did. That's a super plus. That is like the plus of the day right there. I don't know. That's the plus of the day for me, man. That is super positive. That's love. That's what I'm seeing. Now they have an awesome relationship. He probably healed through that. You know how much healing you get from actually getting closure with your father, with your parents, family, love? You know, a lot of us can look at the superstars and, you know, and be like, oh, they sold their souls, and you know, you can see past that too. As you're human beings, you know, they hurt, and he was a kid, so at that time he didn't do all of that negative stuff. He was just a kid who got screwed, you know. And John Lennon was a victim of many things, and so are a lot of us. And because of this lady, May Pang, these two have a relationship. This is, oh, this is great, guys. Listen, I'm gonna end the video right there. Let me know what you guys think. This is a great story. Listen, I'll leave a link in the description. Click on it, and same with this one. Click on this. It tells a lot about, you know, the lost weekend. That's such a weird thing to reference in his life. It's right here, you know. Like I said, at the last time, or at the time Lennon had his 18-month relationship with Pang, he was in a period at which he would later refer to as being the lost weekend. So, man, this is incredible. And how I know these things are like Mandela's for me, and is just because of, like, right now, if I took my heart rate or blood pressure, it'd be high, you know, a good high. But they're really up there, you know what I mean? Pang's book about Lennon, wow, you know. Let's see here. Blah, 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 blah. Oh yeah, so you could read it. There we go. Boom. Let's check it out. I mean, there's a whole thing about it, you know. I never heard of it. Again, this one could have just slipped me because I am not a diehard John Lennon fan, but I did watch a lot of documentaries on it. I just never heard of Lost Weekend. Never heard of the movie either. There's a book on it. Hold on. There's a cover. Book. That's it right there. I don't know how many of you guys read this, you know? I bet half of you haven't. Anyway, that doesn't matter. That makes no sense what I just said. Wait, what did I just say? Okay. Look at this. It was out in the open, guys. It was out in the open. I mean, how many of you are diehard John Lennon fans? You know? Loving John. In this video here, he asked a question. She's like, who are you in John's life? Like, what is your title? She's like, well, the title I hate is mistress. She's like, everybody called me that. I was his girlfriend. And I was like, what? She's like, I was his open, like, I was out there with him. And I'm like, what? Watch the video, guys. I won't say anymore. There's more information in these videos. I just wanted to throw that out there. I don't want to ruin anything else in this, but just wanted to share my 2 copper. But this is amazing. Anyway, have a great week. I love you guys very much. Love yourself. Love your neighbor. Hope everything's going well for you. Big shout out to everybody doing Mandela channels and YouTube channels and Facebook and everything like that. Keeping the community strong. Okay, I'm feeling it. I'm also feeling a lot of people bend. Remember, we don't break, we just bend, alright? Remember that. Stay strong. Stay strong. You're not alone. There's a lot of people here with us. We're all together. Okay? Empaths, they feel that a lot. You know, gotta use the meta. Use your intuition, your gut. Things are gonna be good. Feel it in your belly. I love you guys so very much. Links. Leave links if you find stuff about this, like more information. Holler, okay? Wow, I'm just blown. I just found out about this like an hour ago. I'm just like, wow. Alright guys, Lone Eagle 11258. Peace.